Anyway, I have
I mean,
started the recording.
you have?
Yes.
Okay.
Now here's the thing though. If you can't make it for the whole time, we will do a thing where you can leave at the normal time and I'll just talk
Uh,
for a half hour afterwards.
no, I'm here. I mean, I was going to go home in a couple minutes if I didn't hear from you.
Yeah, I'm really sorry, Ben.
It's almost as
Uh,
if we've been doing this at the same time every week for years,
yeah, and yet I
and
still
yet,
miss it. Um,
Paul
so
Goody.
the preamble for this, people have already listened to me um, uh, lament about how I am late and how irresponsible that is, etc.
All right. Well, as
So
long
sorry,
as
Ben.
it's all right, Paul. I'm going to write in the show notes something that I write in a lot. Today on the show, Paul and Ben talk about why Paul was late today.
Um, you'll notice also, Ben, if you see the picture of me, you know how I talked about my hair and how I've tried this new haircut.
Yeah.
Jennifer reminded me that when we were performing as the schoolyard bullies, I had pretty much this exact same haircut.
Really? I
That's
did
what she
not clock
said.
that.
Yeah.
I do notice that your beard is different. Did you make an error while shaving and just had to go with it?
Sort of, but not exactly. I I was like, I don't think a beard with this haircut works exactly. Let me see what I did. So I left, as you can see, a little this is the actual
Yeah.
go to as is Steven by any chance on?
Not that I know of.
Okay. I believe that you were with us when Steven and I went to the vegan pizza place and had the encounter with the vegan pizza man. Were you along with us?
Yeah, yes, I was there for that.
So as you know, Ben, this is an actual goatee. If you had a mustache and this, it would be a Van Dyke. Which the person that was working at the pizza place, when Steven called just to, you know,
To yell at him.
uh yell at him, and he
Yeah.
didn't yell, he was very nice about it, but called to offer him suggestions about customer service. He said, are you the one I talked to? I don't know, am I? Were you the guy with the goatee? Technically it's a Van Dyke. He's like, okay, this is the same guy.
I don't remember that
So
exchange. I do remember Steven telling the guy that just because the guy was having a bad day doesn't mean that Steven gets crappy customer service. And I don't
exactly.
remember exactly what the issue was. I do remember it took a long time to get the pizza. So
Yeah,
it must have been one of those
it
things
it
where, like, he called to place the order, and when we got there, it wasn't made yet. Something to that effect.
I
And the
all
dude
I
was
all
just a
I can
jerk.
remember is it was really late.
Yeah.
Um, like, and there was other. I don't remember this is why I was wondering if Steven was here, because he would probably remember. But there was more to it than just that, I believe. Um, Also, that is where I saw a poster that I will never forget. Um, People posted about their vegan pets,
Oh, God. Yeah.
and one was, and I'm making up the name Juniper, but this is Juniper. She's a hamster and she loves blueberries. Uh, this is Juniper. She's a hamster. I'm basically starving her.
Yeah.
She'll eat whatever I put in her cage.
She's so
Um,
hungry. It appears like she really loves blueberries, but she's not getting the proteins and the nutrients that a growing hamster needs.
I I was a vegan at the time that all this was happening, I believe, and still I found that yeah,
Yeah.
if you don't have a vegan cat, you have a carnivorous cat that you're feeding
Your
vegan
diet.
stuff to. It's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny too. Do you remember the plum? This
I
organic
do. I
vegan.
actually
cafe. Yeah.
I took you to the Plum occasionally.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
I would
I
like,
went
let's go to
there.
the Plum, and you'd be like, okay.
Uh, I'll go because I want to hang out with you, but I don't like any food there. But it's
Funny
also like,
story.
what is it about people who work at vegan places where they lack customer service skills? The Plum was notorious for the workers there being irritable.
Do you remember how I learned about the Plum,
I
or how I found out?
don't. No.
I was. This is when I. This is. We will rarely talk about
Oh.
the low work thing, but I will talk about it this one time because I think it works. There was a meeting where they were meeting with the staff to like talk to us about this is what we're going to be
Yeah.
doing. This is we're not going to be invasive. This is how this stuff is going to work. Blah 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 blah. And I was told that it was going to be a half hour, and it ended up extending past that time. And Jennifer and I were gonna go out to eat for our anniversary. And I went to leave, and they're like, "What are you doing? You can't leave yet." I was like, "Well, I have the." So I called her and I said I still have to stay here, and she was, like, "Well, we had these plans, and all that." And one of the people on the production saw this interaction that I had, and later on, got me a gift certificate to Plum because they knew that I was vegan at that time. And so yeah, I ate an expensive vegan meal.
Well, they were all expensive. That can't
Yeah.
be how you found out about Plum.
Yeah. I had never heard of it
Oh, okay.
when they
Oh,
got
you know what?
the tickets.
All right, I'm getting my
It was
timelines and vegan restaurants mixed up. You know which one I'm thinking of? I think it was called the Globe.
oh, the Globe. Yeah, 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 yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah, 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 yeah. The Globe was a completely different thing. Plum was pretty okay. So I was really interested in why you thought that the people at Plum were
I was
they
I was
seemed really
getting
good. You were
my
thinking of the Globe.
vegan restaurants confused. I
Yeah.
was thinking of the Globe, but had terrible slow service, but it was okay because they were always angry at you for
Yeah.
daring to be customers there.
You know what
The
I
Plum is a
liked?
decent place.
I liked, yeah, thank you. And I feel better now. I was like, what did they do to Ben? That's no fair. Green Cat. You remember Green Cat?
Was that down there on like Olive and Denny?
Yeah, sort of, yes. Yeah,
In
it
fact, that
was near
triangle
that area.
building?
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
In that thing. Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. I loved Gravity Bar, of course. We've talked about that before. How I wish there was a Gravity Bar that was still in existence.
Ah.
That was in whatever that shopping center is that now is QFC shopping center in Capitol Hill.
The Broadway Market?
There's the QFC,
Like
the big one. And
everything's a QFC now in Seattle.
yeah, sorry. Okay, so on
the
the
Broadway
other
Market,
end of
I think,
Capitol
is
Hill,
what you're talking
Broadway
about.
Market, yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Broadway Market used to have a place called the Gravity Bar, which I really liked when I was in Seattle. It was good.
It was vegan as well.
Well, they had vegan options. I don't know if it was always vegan. Like, it might have all been vegan, but
So when you were what pulled you out of your veganism?
well, we've talked about this before. There was Dinner in Hell, which was what
Yes.
pulled me out of the last veganism I had. But I had been vegan prior to that. I was vegan. Okay, so let's talk about how I started being vegan. So Andy, friend of the show, Andy shows up every once in a while on this podcast. He decided to be vegetarian, and he was very, I can't eat that. I'm a vegetarian, things like that. So I, in an attempt to one up him, became vegan. That's how a lot of my stuff starts as a oh yeah, well I'll show you. Um, so that's what happened. I became vegan, out of spite.
Just to own Andy.
Well, yeah, because there were times, and I don't know if he'll. Andy's much more of a prankster than I am, but I am also. I have when I'm around him, he brings some of this stuff out
Yeah.
in me. So he would be like, "Hey, I can't eat that because I'm vegetarian," and so then I would say, "Well, I can't eat that because I'm vegan." So there you go. And then I met a woman online. We went to Canada, and I was vegan there in Canada. And then I was vegan when I went to Seattle. And then eventually, at some point in time, I went to St. Louis, and I was at a restaurant, and there was fish, this fried fish thing. And I was like, man, I really want that. I can't though because I'm vegan. And then a little voice inside my head said, hey, I've got an idea. Why not abandon your principles? And I was like, oh yeah, I can do that. So then I ate the fish, and then I wasn't vegan for a while, and then I became vegan again. I can't do it now, for two reasons. One, because of course Jennifer cooks the delicious food that is not vegan, and secondly, because I am now eating Magic Spoon, the
Right.
cereal, a lot, and it
Almost
is
exclusively, from what I understand.
whey based. Yeah,
No
I would
way.
say, yeah, I eat, basically, this is what it is. I eat Magic Spoon for anything that I'm doing that isn't Jennifer's dinner. So, but I'll have almond milk with it. I'll have a banana, occasionally. But I've
Oh,
been
well,
filling out a lot of their surveys. They have a couple of things like they say, what new flavors would you like us to do? Of course, cotton candy is what I said. That would be, amazing. If I eat nothing but cotton candy cereal, that's like
you will get tired of
my
that
aesthetic.
eventually.
Yeah, but I'll get tired of it less than other things. Um, I'm trying all their different flavors. Right now I'm eating s'mores. Hey, do you remember s'mores cereal?
Maybe, I don't know. I don't think I ever had it though.
Yeah, they were like, I wish I could remember exactly, but I think they were like little grams with chocolate. I want to say. I remember liking it. I think they were like, I want to say there were little gram tubes with chocolate in it, but I could be wrong. Oh, hey, by the
Yeah.
way, did we go to Annie's when you were here? It's a frozen custard place in Edwardsville.
No, we went to that restaurant on Route 66, that like 50s themed diner and a candy
Oh
shop.
yeah, man. Too bad about that place, by the way. Giant Donald Trump statue.
What?
Once they put that up,
Jesus.
I was like, well,
Oh man.
no thanks.
That's
But
too
yeah,
bad.
I like that place.
Not surprising though.
But the reason I would mention it, Annie's frozen custard. Are you familiar with what a concrete is?
No.
Okay, so
Not
you know
in
what a
relation to
shake
frozen
is.
custard. Yes.
Yeah. And it's you have mixing and all that. So what a concrete is it's pretty much a shake. Like they use the spinny shake thing and all that, but they don't put any milk in it. That's just the custard. And the custard, as you know, is thicker than ice cream
Right.
and all that. So what it comes out to is kind of a soft serve consistency um thing in a cup that is sort of like a shake, but you eat it with a spoon. There's no, you do not attempt to eat it with a straw. It's a,
Yeah.
okay, so Dairy Queen
Does
has
it?
the Blizzard.
Yeah.
The Blizzard is kind of, I mean, that's kind of where they got the Blizzard from.
I mean, the Wendy's has a similar thing, I think, where I don't think you actually eat it with a straw or drink it with a straw. You have to eat it with a spoon, but it is a shake type drink. I can't
Wait,
remember
you're
what
not
they
talking
call it.
about the Frosty, are you?
The Frosty. I think that's what I'm thinking of.
Okay,
Yeah,
so the Frosty is still a shake. It's still on the shake side of things.
it's on the shake
Um,
spectrum.
yeah, a concrete. If there
I
were
didn't say
a
it was the same
spectrum,
thing.
and
I said it sounds like it might be similar.
no. But the thing about the concrete is, um, they always have mix-ins, right?
Yeah.
So you can go to a custard place and get a plain dish of vanilla. You can get a sundae, all that. But most people get a concrete, and you have the ice cream base, which is normally vanilla, right? Some concrete place, some places now, some frozen custard places have chocolate just always available, but most places, at least in the old times, were just vanilla custard. You could get vanilla custard. If you wanted something different, you would get a concrete. And the way it worked is you have like a syrup that you put in, or you could choose not to have one. And then you have a solid thing that you put in. So, for instance, um, what I had last night, I had peanut butter syrup and toasted coconut. Have you ever had a Zagnut bar?
Maybe.
Well, or a chick stick.
No.
Okay. Well, anyway, it's peanut butter and coconut mixed together, and um, it was really the first time that I understood what a concrete was for. It's you you mix your flavors together and have an entirely new sensation. I used to just eat vanilla. That was the main thing, but now I'm branching out.
So you had one of these yesterday? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, I had one of these yesterday. Normally, I would just get a small dish of vanilla. That's normally, for a long time, that's all I got. Now I get it, so I'm gonna make new stuff.
I liked to experiment with new flavors when I got to say places like build your own ice cream sundae kind of thing, or a soda fountain at a Rax's in downtown Lacey. Just mixing together all the flavors just to see.
Wait,
what you
at a
can do.
Rax?
Yeah, did you ever have Rax's RAX in the Midwest?
Yeah. Did they have a soda fountain there? 'Cause they didn't when I was growing up.
Yeah.
But wow.
They also had a make your own salad bar, which was felt like part of their thing. I felt like they were trying to be like an upscale, like more healthy fast food joint.
Was Rax's Wally Gator?
I don't remember their mascot.
Okay. Well, I remember they had the Jamocha shake. And yeah, they were roast beef, Rax.
Yes. Yeah. But where I was heading was I used to do that, but in my older age, that doesn't appeal to me anymore. And in fact,
Really?
a peanut butter coconut concoction does not sound good to me.
Ah, man.
I also like
Ah.
I don't like either of those flavors. Like I definitely don't like coconut, and my taste for peanut butter has definitely decreased since I was a child.
Well, if you don't like them separately, just wait until I get to eat one and you don't. That's what would
So,
happen. Is I'd say,
hey,
Ben, I'll take this from you.
if one were forced on me, you can have it. I don't care. So Paul, our friend from last week, is chiming in on the chat.
Is this drunk? I believe
Yes.
is the yes.
Yes, says
Oh, well, welcome back, repeat listener.
a nice way to conceal your true identity on social media. A very good idea, one that I did not adhere to when I signed up for YouTube. They say they say vanilla is the best flavor. I think in relation to concretes, because we established like they lived in the same area.
Vanilla, again, you would eat it without the concrete, but
Yeah.
but vanilla is a very good flavor.
Every great ice cream
frozen
has a
custard.
base. Every great ice cream has a base of vanilla ice cream. It's funny. So Molly Moon's is right down the street here, and if I get to work in the morning soon enough, I can see their delivery of their base. They don't make the ice cream at Molly Moon's. I think it's Snoqualmie makes it. Molly Moon's only mixes the
What?
flavors. Yeah, true fact.
Oh
They don't
my
make the ice cream there.
God.
They farm it in from
Is it
Snoqualmie.
Molly Moon's ice cream at all, or is it a different ice cream company
It's a different.
altogether?
Well, see, I don't know if Snoqualmie owns Molly Moon's. I do not know, but it is
You just
Snoqualmie
reminded me.
ice cream.
I need to go to a general store in Bunker Hill. They have sorghum molasses that I need to pick up. I keep on forgetting.
So yeah, they mix the flavors there at Molly Moon's. They don't actually make the ice cream. But there's a question for you, Paul, that maybe we've talked about this in the past, the pod in the past. Maybe you'll want to explain it again. The question is, are you in a mattress fort?
It is okay. It is a moving blanket fort. Let me. This is going to be a new thing. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take the
Going
thing
on a
off
field
of
trip.
The thing. Just wait a second. It's going to happen. Oh, that's right. There's no button. Okay, so can I flip it around? Oh no, I just made my.
This is where
Good.
this part of the show is awesome.
Oh no! Why?
Yeah.
No, I don't like it. Oh, there we go. Ben's back.
Oh, what?
Okay,
Yep.
so
Kind
if you can see, Ben, does that? Can you
Yeah,
see
I'm
that?
seeing a little bit of. You gotta fix the base there.
PVC?
It looks like part of it's come off.
Yeah, that's broken. Look at this one.
Oh
Both
my
of them
god!
are off.
My god!
This one
How
is
do
good.
you live with yourself?
This one is good. Because this isn't really mine. Jennifer uses it mostly. And she can't get down to pound them in. She can't get down to pound them in. You heard it here first, Ben.
And of course, you're not going to
Okay.
debase yourself by fixing the
I
moving
probably
blanket
will
fort.
eventually.
Now that we've called you out on it,
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the reasons why I quit the TikTok. By the way, I had a dream that someone asked me to rejoin, like I had to rejoin TikTok for like the government or whatever. I still remember, Ben, I left that with 13,000 followers. Could have monetized my channel had I stuck around, but I decided not to. And part of the reason was people kept on telling me to clean my house. And I was like, no thanks. Never again. But that wasn't the main reason. It was
you just don't like being told what to do by strangers.
it's not that. It's I like to be able to control what it is that I consume, I guess is what I would say. And the algorithm plays around a little bit too much.
So you had a dream that somebody
But
approached you
I had
and
a dream, and
begged
they were
you
like,
to come back to TikTok.
You have to come back to TikTok, Paul. And normally, you know, if I have a dream like that, I'll listen to it. I would have signed up, but as soon as I woke up, I was like, no, not this time. I actually, you know, you remember, Ben, you were through this a little bit when
Ben.
we had the, you know, I was writing. I had a writing partner, and eventually I stopped writing, and there was like a you know, kind of bad feelings, and it was a little bit.
It turned into a thing, from what I understand.
Turned into a thing for a little bit. Things are okay now, but
That's good.
yeah, that was dream based. But the dream itself, right, was just me having the exact same problem that I had in the real world, where it's just like I'm doing all this stuff, nothing's coming out of it, and I would rather be doing all this other stuff. And I woke up and I was like, okay, a little bit on the nose, but I get it. And I was like, yeah, I should probably stop doing this. And it worked out great. I feel much better, much less stress.
Well, that's good. It's good for your mental health, you know.
Yes. My mental health specifically.
Indeed.
Not necessarily the mental health of the people that I was doing things with, but they'll get over it.
Eventually.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm focusing more on role playing now, which is like writing for television, except you do it for like 4 people, which is
and
fine.
and it never goes anywhere. It just stays in the room.
Exactly. And staying in the room in this day and age, Ben, not that bad of a thing.
I
Because
often pull out the line that we talked about, that we've talked about recently, where it's much more fun to do art when you're not expecting to get paid from it.
when you're not expected to get paid from it, that's number one. And two, and this is a live theater thing, a live, not recorded theater thing, where the people that are there for that specific show are going to see a show that no one else is going to see. Pretty cool, I think. I do like the idea, that people can see the type of show.
Yeah,
Like what was the one that they did? I don't know if it was an open circle. I think it was open circle, but I could be wrong. Um, it was a serial, like a Dukes of Hazzard kind of. Every week they had a money and run, money and run,
yeah, that was at Theater
money and
Schmieder.
run. Theater Schmieder. I love that concept. Money and
Yeah,
run. It was great, right? You have because you have the episode and it runs a couple of nights, so everyone sees kind of the same show, but there's enough stuff, enough variations in it that it's a little different each time.
yeah.
What was the one at what was the theater um where
Oh, you're gonna ask me to remember
Egyptian Book
something?
of the Dead was at?
The Empty Space.
The Empty Space. Okay, so now the Herbert Burgle Empty Space show with uh the rotating cast, the Gas Man. Uh, Richard Lefebvre was in it one time. That sort of thing. I
That's
like
a
that too.
Seattle
Where
theater deep cut right there.
yeah, 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 yeah. I think about the Gas Man often. I think it's a really good
I don't
show.
think I ever saw it. Um,
Oh, Kevin Seal, your friend of mine,
yeah,
was in it
former
one time.
MTV VJ Kevin Seal.
That's right. Ah,
Hey, so, Paul, what college did you go to?
I went to University of Missouri at Columbia and
So,
SIU, Southern Illinois University at Edwardsville.
Southern Illinois University of Edwardsville, SIUE.
UE, Southern Illinois University at Edwardsville,
All right.
SIUE.
Well, looks like Drunk almost went there for college.
Oh,
Did you
it's not
enjoy it?
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I went, it was a while back, and so it was mostly a
We are
commuter
old.
college at the time,
Yeah.
but now it's a little bit better. Um, as far as there's actually a student like presence off campus. There's cooler stuff. I don't know how old Drunk is, but Edwardsville used to be a lot less cool than it is now. Not to say that it's super cool,
I
but it
know. I
used to
was there.
be.
It was fun when I visited a couple years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah, yeah.
Had it's still. I mean, we
Much.
never went to campus, but it still had a very small town feel to it.
Yeah, small town feel, but also you can get soy milk now, as an example.
You can get soy milk. And how are your foreign food selections at the grocery stores?
They're much better again than they were. Um, there used to be none. Now
Yeah.
there are some much better than none. Oh, by the way, I found that celery soda I was looking for. There was a deli that had it. In fact, Ben, this might be
Paul.
exciting.
Yes.
If you have a moment, I'll continue talking I'm going to go upstairs and get it, and I am going to drink it on the camera.
Ooh, this
One
is an
second.
exclusive of Paul.
So
there's
I'm going upstairs.
That's.
More.
I can kind of hear you, but it sounds like your internet is not having a very fun time.
Oh no, sorry, Ben.
Well, that came in clear. I know what you mean though about only
Hey.
finding a thing in certain locations. There's a particular type of beer that I enjoy, and there's like 3 stores in town that sell it. So if I want to have a Pyramid Apricot Ale, which is one of my favorite summer brews, I have to go to one of 3 stores in town. It's annoying because it's not at my normal, shopping store.
Oh man, Ben, if we were gonna do Schoolyard Bullies again,
Yeah.
that would be a good name for an album. Summer Brews, but Brews is Bruise.
Summer brews. All right, so
Okay,
this is the famous
this is it.
celery soda.
It's Dr. Brown's celery.
Doc Brown?
Yeah.
I follow
Dr.
Christopher Lloyd on
Brown's.
Twitter, and he announced that if you sent him Christopher Lloyd fan art, he would retweet it. So at a certain point today, my entire Twitter feed was just Christopher Lloyd fan art. A lot of Back to the Future. Some
can't
Taxi.
really see.
It looks like a big green can eating your face.
The soda itself is kind of yellowish, sort of grayish. Looks like a ginger ale, kind of.
Okay.
The taste, Ben. It does have a celery taste to it. Spicy a little bit. Some people say spicy. Again, like a ginger ale. It has like a little. But yeah, here's the way I would describe it. Imagine that you put some 7-Up in your mouth and then you chew a celery stick.
It's gold.
And then
I
you
don't know.
swallow that. Whatever taste is left in your mouth, that's what this tastes like.
Again, these flavor combinations just do not sound appealing to me.
It's an acquired taste for sure.
7-Up and celery.
Yeah.
So this show has been compared to like watching Seinfeld. It's about nothing, but it's amazingly about nothing. Salute, this is gold.
Wow, thank you so much. I'm guessing that was Drunk again?
Yes, our only friend on the show with us today.
Drunk, this is actually special. Ben and I have talked about this in the past. About how eventually there will be a viewer that doesn't know us, that just finds the show. We would often talk about what that viewer would think of it. Would it be interesting? Would it be, the idea, and I guess we've done this a little bit incorrectly, but it might be just that we've been doing it for a while. The idea was that because the show didn't have anything to it, it would not be compelling, and therefore people wouldn't watch for that long.
Yeah.
Maybe talking about that is the thing that makes it not interesting. But we'll see. What's your shirt say, by the way, Ben?
It says Mariners because I like baseball and I live in Seattle.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to the game on Saturday.
Who is the most famous player on the Mariners right now?
That is a good question. There aren't any big marquee names.
Like Ichiro's gone, right?
Ichiro's gone. The Mariners do have a talented young rookie by the name of Julio Rodriguez, who is tearing up MLB. Unfortunately, he's on the injured list right now. But he'll be back soon. But yeah, he's the league normally doesn't really pay attention to Seattle because we're so far out of the way.
Right.
We're not a very big market team, but Julio is putting Seattle back on the MLB map. So it's
Nice.
fun.
And
It's
what
fun
is
watching this young man play.
what does Julio? What position does he play?
He plays center field.
Ah, look at me. I could be center field, and I am. My name, Julio Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Is he
did.
also a good batter? Is that what the interest
And
is
in
in?
fact, and Drunk just mentioned this on the chat. He came in second in the All-Star Game home run derby, not
Wow.
derby, behind Juan
Home Run
Soto.
Derpy again. Great Schoolyard Bullies album.
We should do another album.
Yeah, I would enjoy that. We have to get Brett back.
Yeah.
Brett and I were exchanging emails for a while, and then I dropped the ball, and I apologize
Did
to
somebody
Brett, who is
come to you
not
in a
listening.
dream to tell you to stop emailing with Brett?
No, I just stopped doing it. That happens sometimes where I just do stuff. Why? I don't know. You know, but maybe a dream. Can't be sure.
I'm guilty of that too. I still have guilt about dropping the ball in communication with somebody that has happened like 15 years ago. Like I still think, oh right, I need to write that person back, and it's been 15 years.
That was the way it was with me and Troy lots of times. I would see Troy and I'd be like, "Oh, Troy, probably should have written, hey, maybe Drunk knows Troy Lund. Any chance?" Just because Troy was Missouri based for a while.
Yeah, and also John Hamm.
John Hamm, John Goodman, obviously.
Oh really?
Yeah. No, I told you about that. I took a script analysis class with John Hamm.
Yes, you did tell me that.
And he was as nice as people would have liked him to be. We weren't like friends, but he was friendly to me at the time.
He was in your class. He wasn't teaching the class.
No, he was in my class. Yeah, he and
Yeah.
I are around the same age. Yeah, but because he was teaching classes in St.
Yeah.
Louis, I think.
I know that he had Ellie Kemper as a student. I
heard
he
about
mentioned
that.
this on his
Oh.
appearance on WTF with Mark Maron. He mentioned that.
That's something. The VP Fair, Ben.
The
If
VP
only
Fair.
Drunk had been on when we were talking about that.
The VP Fair.
Veiled Prophet, VP Fair. Now called
Oh,
Fair St. Louis.
There we go.
Trying to distance from that. But yeah. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, go on. Finish your thought.
Started as a celebration of breaking a strike that had happened in St. Louis.
Yeah, down with the strikes.
Oh, Ben,
breaking
up at you.
Well, breaking up. No. I say that sarcastically. I think.
I know.
Unions are needed. Speaking of fairs, guess what's this weekend?
Bumbershoot?
No, Seafair. Do you know how I know?
Seafair.
Do you know how I know
because
Seafair's this weekend?
The freaking Blue Angels.
The Blue Angels have been buzzing the building the entire day.
Yeah. We lived right in their flight path when we lived at the house that you moved me out of.
Yeah.
As well. Oh yeah, Drunk. Yeah, this will be interesting for you to hear. So I got my job here in Illinois on a Friday, and they wanted me to be at work on Tuesday. So I got my wife and kid in the car and drove back to stay at my parents' house. Meanwhile, the man you're seeing on the screen there, right there, GudeLaurance, packed up everything in my house and put it in a pod and mailed it to me. So
yeah,
I am forever in his debt. And,
packed up
and
almost everything in the
him.
house. Got rid of almost everything else. Cleaned the house.
You cleaned it too? I can't. Well, that's amazing.
Well, cleaned it all out of your stuff.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I really appreciate that.
I went back.
I repay him by being late for the podcast.
Yeah, half hour late. That might be a new record if we still do the show.
I think it is a I think it is it is definitely a record for sure.
But I don't know if I ever told you this. Maybe I did. I went back to look at the open house once it was all cleaned out, and just to see, what if they had done anything to it. Something they did do, they power washed the front walkway, and it looked amazing.
Yeah. That definitely happened after we moved out.
Yeah,
We didn't do anything to it. Although Jennifer fell down those steps.
I'm not surprised. Those were some
treacherous.
scary, especially in the wet. Come on,
Mhm.
and no handrail.
Yep.
Wait, did you have a pipe handrail? Am I remembering that
There was a
incorrectly?
pipe handrail.
Yeah,
Um,
okay.
It did not cover everything, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Was she okay?
Yeah.
I'm assuming a couple bruises, but
Yeah. She landed on a slug though. Insult to injury. Um,
it
think it
softened the
was
blow
on-
somewhat.
yeah. But I think there was a metal grate, for water or power or whatever, one of those things that's in the ground.
Yeah.
I think she hit that
Oh, okay.
as well. And it had a slug on it. So not great. Not great. And now
Not great,
again,
Bob.
like I've mentioned before, she wants to move.
Yeah. The ongoing saga, how's that going?
I cannot move yet. I will say this: someone asked me if I would be interested in working for them. As you know, I already have the job that I'm working remotely from here, but that job won't last forever, so I'm looking into it. But one of the things they asked me was what my salary was and would I be willing to tell them. And I kind of, vacillated back and forth. And then I was like, no, of course. What's the worst that can happen? They say, because here's the thing, right? They want me to work for them. So I say, this is the salary I'm making now.
Yeah.
If they offer me less, then I know something about them. If they offer me more, then I know something about them. I feel like being cagey with how much I'm getting paid doesn't do me any favors. So
there's a big push in modern workplaces to be open with how much people are making. It's an equitable practice. That way, people who are making less money than they are worth, or than like somebody who they are as qualified with. Say, if you have a woman and a man doing the same job, the woman finds out she's not making as much money as the man, but, they're doing the same thing, processes can start to happen. But
that's exactly why they don't want you to share your.
No, exactly. No,
salaries. Yeah.
businesses don't want to do this. Don't want you to do this. And in fact, I think some places have rules on the rule books in the HR about keeping your salary quiet. And I find that when I'm never asked how much money I make by anybody except like the IRS, but I find that I think what keeps a lot of people from talking about what their salaries are is it might be like shame that they're making so little. Like, oh, I only, I've been working here for, 15 years and my salary is, $45,000 a year. God damn, it's only $45,000 a year after 15 years. What's wrong with that kind of thing? Or maybe that's just where my mind goes.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, one of the things I'm reminded now of a commercial. I don't know if you ever saw it. It was by some financial institution about protecting your company from hackers.
Yeah.
Or some security team, and it was a man and a woman, and they hacked into a HR thing, and he's like, look at this executive makes this much more than this executive, and she goes, wow, I wonder if they know, and he goes, they do now. I just emailed this out to the entire company. And I loved it because it was like, haha, hackers are going to ruin your HR practices. I thought it was great because I think whatever ad agency made that probably sold some people on the idea of buying the service.
Yeah,
Probably. I would
probably.
be concerned. Hey Ben,
Yes, Paul.
you know what else I haven't been doing?
What haven't you been doing?
I haven't been looking at the news. Have you looked at the news at all?
I have looked at the news somewhat.
Is there anything you can quiz me on that I can guess?
Yes. In fact, there was something that happened. So I don't know if you're familiar with Alex Jones from InfoWars.
Oh shoot, Ben, I know this one. I
You
actually know
have been
this
paying
one.
attention to the news.
No, this is what happened. This happened this morning. Uh, in my email, my Reddit public freakout, or watch people die inside. I think it was watch people die inside,
Yeah.
which I don't go to anymore because Reddit uses very bad practices to make you download their app. If you try to go to them in a browser, it'll say things are better in the app. Do you want to use the app? And you say
Oh yeah.
no. It says, oh, this has adult content. We need you to verify your age. You should download the app. And you say no, and you just read the comments. And then it says, to see more comments, download the app. Like it won't
Yeah.
stop. So I don't really read it that much. But the post that they had, they can't stop you from looking at it because it was on Twitter. So I went to Twitter, and again, didn't have to sign in, but I watched the thing. And let me tell you what you were going to talk to me about, and you tell me if it's right.
Okay.
So Alex Jones is, of course, being sued by the parents of Sandy Hook because he called Sandy Hook a false flag. And at one point in time, under oath, they asked if he had any text communications about Sandy Hook on his phone, and he said no. The lawyer for the parents asked him again if that was the case, if he said that it didn't have it. And he said, yes, I'd be really interested to hear about how you have this evidence you say you have. I'm paraphrasing here, that I had these texts on my phone. And he said, this is what happened. Your lawyer mailed me an entire digital copy of your phone. And when I told him about it, he didn't do anything to stop me from having it. So as of 2 days ago, I am able to use this now, and this is how I know that you're lying to me. And the thing that was nice to watch, it was Alex Jones going, well, you have it, so I gave it to you. I don't understand. He was trying to play it off as though this was him being compliant, and the judge had to caution both the lawyer and Mr. Jones to please stick to asking questions and answering questions, don't editorialize and all that. But so it basically came out that yeah, he has his lawyer to thank for this evidence that he had perjured himself.
He does need to get new lawyers. Yes, that is exactly what happened in the news lately. There's
That's the
also
only. It's amazing that I knew that.
there was something else that happened in the news. Maybe you'll know this. This was brought to us by our viewer drunk.
Oh, nice.
So there was. Are you familiar with the WNBA star who was detained in Russia over drug
Okay.
possession?
I don't know her name, but I do know that happened.
All right. Well, her name is Brittany Griner, and they came down with a verdict. So can you guess how many years she's being sentenced to a Russian prison?
Okay. There are two ways that this would be interesting. One is if it's very slight. One if it's very long. I'm gonna say 50 years.
You would be wrong.
Oh,
That would be way too much.
okay. So what is it?
It's
Or
9.
do you want me to guess it? 9.
No, we can go round and round, but yeah, 9 years for. And I heard.
Q Who Laurie? Oh, 9.
Hey,
Uh,
cops got his work cut out for him. 9.5, technically, I guess. And from what I understand, I haven't read too much into this story, but the drug possession was cannabis oil in a vape stick.
uh,
And
okay.
so now, and as if we haven't had enough diplomatic issues with Russia already, now Biden has to try to figure out a way to get Brittany Griner out of Russia.
Oh yeah. So, ooh, boy, oh boy, that's a very interesting kettle of fish, Ben.
Maybe you should have led with that so we can end on the Schadenfreude of Alex Jones having to pay the parents of the Sandy Hook kids
I'm
$47
very happy
million.
that Drunk helped out with the news thing, because that's sometimes neither you or I have watched it, so it makes it a little bit more difficult.
This is true fact. And yeah,
today it was pouring down rain and it was sunny outside. Have you seen Nope yet, by the way, Ben?
nope, I have not seen it yet.
All right, we've talked about this already. You are
I'm not going to the
theater
theaters.
shy.
Yeah,
because you live in a huge city. When we saw it, this is the other thing. When we saw it, it was very sparse seating. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not very sparse seating, very open seating.
Yeah.
Not many people in the theater.
It was sparsely attended.
Sparsely attended. Yeah. But my across the street, my sometimes across the street neighbor Evan saw it, so I was able to get some of my
you were able to talk about it to
out.
somebody.
yeah, exactly. So
now let's parse that sentence. You're sometimes across the street neighbor.
So Evan used to live across the street from me, and now he only sometimes is across the street from me. Isn't really living over across the street anymore, but still shows up to do like some housework and stuff. He was a younger man, and now he's moved out of his family home, and so he sometimes returns to do more stuff for, like, the parental unit inside of the house, but he is not living inside the house.
All right. And just drunk, just briefly, I did say that I'm not going to theaters, and I am actually in a theater. I am in a live theater. I'm the only one here, but this isn't an effect. I'm at an actual theater, and look, there's the stage, and so.
Is anything planned for the stage within the next?
No, not. There's no live performances planned. They are doing they're doing a film. Annex is helping produce a film of a play written by, I think, Marcus Gorman and one other person.
Who is Marcus Gorman? Do I know Marcus Gorman?
Did you ever see or know of the play Deers here at Annex?
Deers, is it the animal deers, or is it the
it was basically if Cheers was populated by animals.
No, but I like it. That's
it was
nice.
One of our late nights here. But there's nothing there. We're gonna have a Boggle night in October. CBS is spearheading that one, so I gotta get a camera to put up in the grid so we can have a top-down view of the tabletop.
And of course, Ben, can you explain CBS just in case someone were to think that the actual new network
CBS
is involved?
CBS is our former artistic director, Catherine Blake Smith, and she goes by CBS,
which I think is great. But speaking about great, We've got about 2 more minutes, Ben. Anything
And I
that
just
we
finished my
wanna...
water.
Hey!
2 minutes. Hey,
Yay!
should we quickly review
One of
last
our old...
yeah, one of our
yeah,
old
yeah.
pieces?
Yeah, so,
So I'm gonna ask you this, Paul. Every time,
oh, I
do you
should
remember what we
remember
talked
this
about
thing.
last time?
I should remember this, but I don't. Ugh, it's the worst. So, some of them in this very theater, of course. Oh wait, yes, I do. I do remember. It was Celebrity Impressions.
Celebrity impressions.
No, no, it isn't. It isn't. We talked about Celebrity Impressions, but it
Yeah,
wasn't Celebrity
we didn't
Impressions.
do that.
I'm wrong. Dang it. We did talk
um.
about it though.
Oh, you know what we did? You know what we talked about?
What was it?
Midnight road trip to Tacoma with Paul and
Oh,
Ben.
that's right. That's right. Um, Midnight Road Trip to Tacoma. Drunk, I don't know if you're familiar with the Seattle to Tacoma ratio, but it would be kind of like if you're doing a show in St. Louis and you convince people to get in a car and drive with you to, oh, I'm gonna say, um, like Scott Air Force Base. Not exactly, super far, but far enough. Well, actually, Scott Air Force Base, I don't know. It's actually sort of closer than I thought. Maybe drive to, let's say, Alton. Oh, then again, Alton, maybe right across the river too. Uh, Edwardsville. That's a half hour. How far is Tacoma from Seattle?
Well, at that time of day, it probably would have only taken like 25 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like Alton. Alton is a great example.
So, the next thing, what happened the following month? I already closed the page, so I can't find it. But it's virtual Bruce. Do you remember when we
Did we have Bruce on a TV?
we had Bruce on a TV, and we were essentially the hosts who were being taught how to host Spin the Bottle by a virtual Bruce.
Ah, yes. I fondly remember that. It really tugs at the old audio visual heartstrings. Fun little,
We had a
and also I like Bruce. Bruce Hall was the host of the cabaret for much of the time that we were there.
yeah,
I would say the golden years,
indeed.
for sure.
I do
The
remember.
salad
I mean,
days.
there were a lot of things I remember about that performance, but what I mostly remember is that I almost hurt Brett Fetzer incredibly, like physically hurt him accidentally after the show. So we had this TV on this rolling cart, kind of like an AV cart you'd find in an elementary school in the '80s, and it was bungee corded. I had the TV bungee corded on top of this thing. After the show, I'm taking it off. I'm undoing the bungee cords. Brett's walking past me, and it slipped out of my hand and went thwack right in front of him. So if he had just been a step ahead, it would have got him in the face probably.
I thought you were saying I thought I was imagining the TV almost falling on him while I was sitting in the audience or whatever, but that is not what happened.
Nope.
So I feel a little bit better about that. All right, well, Ben,
Paul.
it is another show gone. We did it.
Hey, we did it. Didn't think this was gonna happen today.
Yeah, yeah. Again, I'm sorry, but thank you for sticking around, and thank you, Drunk, for showing up.
Yeah.
It's it's always nice to know that there's one person watching.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Because
if Steven isn't watching this live stream, he eventually listens to the show, and I bet you he will text me and tell me more about the ornery vegan pizza owner.
I feel as though Steven is I guess the difference is Steven is part of the show. Well, now Drunk is actually part of the show too. He's been participating, so maybe I'm a little bit off. But anyway,
We're open to everybody.
Steven is a collaborator and sometimes patron of the show. I would say.
Alrighty, well, Paul.
And allow me to say 10-4, good buddy.
Copy that.
Get the peanut butter out your ears and take a listen to the GudeLaurance podcast next week when we meet again. And until then, keep it wrong.
Paul, I implore you to keep it wrong, and I'll talk to you next week.
Talk to you next week. And